Are y'all ready to yeehaw down the runway? It's giving fringe, boots, and big belt buckles as the designers lasso their creativity for the ultimate Western showdown. Who's riding into the sunset with a win, and who's about to get bucked off the fashion horse? Find out on this episode of the Previously On podcast. Welcome back to the Previously On podcast, the show that reminds you why that one scene still lives rent-free in your head. I'm Will, and I'm joined by my podcast co-host in chaos,
Joanne. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button and hit that notification bell so you don't miss a single episode of Previously On.
All right, so today we are recapping Project Runway Season 21, Episode 7. Can you believe that we're at 7 episodes already?
I
I
know,
feel like
that's crazy.
I feel like the season at one point felt like it was going so slow, and now I feel like it's going so fast.
I was watching the episode. I was like, wait, how do we have like 6 contestants left? Where did they all go?
Right. I'm like, I just remembered us being so excited for Project Runway. Now all of a sudden it's like it's about to end. And I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, they're literally about to be the top
Yep.
5, which is wild.
Mm-hmm. That's crazy.
I'm like, where did these shows go? But all right. We see that Casey has been eliminated. We see Alex has been eliminated. We have Angelo, unfortunately, Giovanni's daddy, eliminated. Joseph McCrae, our fave, amazing, eliminated. Madeline was eliminated, and then unfortunately, Miss Joan was eliminated in the beginning of episode 7. Now, I'm gonna tell you right now that I cried.
Bitch, I didn't, but it was a very touching. It was very sad, especially Yuchen's reaction, and he was like sobbing, and he was like, "It's my fault you're going home," and everybody else, almost everyone was crying. I was like, "Oh my god, not the auntie
Yeah.
going home."
I cried because we didn't get to see a lot of those, I would say, like emotional storied arcs with Joan, like throughout the season. And so the fact that when they did that montage with her and how she touched like every single one of
Mm-hmm.
those designers, I think it was that in the culmination of the fact of like she she beat cancer, right? Like she was supposed to be on the season and she got sick, so that's why she wasn't on the previous season. And so she came back. She's 60, and she's doing it. She looks amazing, and so she has such an amazing personality. I think that's the reason why. And then she just reminded me of my grandma, and I was just like, oh my god, like Miss Joan, like
Yeah,
this is so nice.
yeah. It was sad to see her go. Honestly, it was just her personality was amazing, and obviously, everybody loved her. You could see it in their reactions. But she's gonna go on and do great things next year. I mean, she already has. She's had her full career. Uh, but I'm glad she was able to, share a little bit of her with the world.
Same. And Christian said, listen, call him anytime. Hopefully, Miss Joan, you're taking up on him for that offer because call Christian. Yes. So that leaves Antonio, Blania, Jesus, Ethan, Yuchen, and VJ going into episode 7, which was the Western Challenge. Now, this challenge is it's funny because we went from streetwear and now we're taking it to the country. Which what I liked was Jesus and Antonio talking about, I would say, indigenous culture
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm-hmm.
how it intertwines with a lot of like the country Western elements that we
Mm-hmm.
are seeing. And I think that is I thought that was such an amazing moment.
Yeah. I definitely agree with that. When they were speaking about it, I kind of felt a connection to that. And I was like, oh yes, indigenous people have had a lot of influence on what we see as like Western and like country. So I thought it was great that they brought it up and that they were actually able to incorporate it into their final looks.
Yes. And I think they did really well. Obviously, spoiler alert, like the twins were in the top. But I think it is because they was able to bring that heritage into their designs that I think worked. But I also like that they use that storyline and that inspiration and not the typical, oh, like cowboys or the white people that you see like with the
Yep.
lassos, right? Like we need to move away from that
Mm-hmm.
narrative because a lot of that culture comes from someplace else.
Exactly. Yeah.
And so we're with this current administration, I mean, guys,
Ooh,
child,
yeah.
they ain't got no culture, so they're trying to take culture from everybody
Bitch,
else.
I was about to say that.
So I love that Project Runway said, lies. What we're not gonna whitewash this. And I also like the judge, but she even said it, right? She was like, like you taking that inspiration and I was like, yes, keep on talking about that.
Mhm.
But overall, I thought majority of the looks were good. There was a few that I was just like, what the
Girl.
fuck?
Girl. Girl. It
Like
was
they were
giving
so bad, and I'm like, what the fuck?
it was giving like Timu Cowboy Carter outfit. Like, oof. I was
Yeah.
girl, we gotta get into it because some of those
Yes,
looks,
because they were out there. They were so
bruh,
out there that it was this. I think this episode in particular, you knew who the tops and the bottoms were because
absolutely.
it was like you could see it.
You know what?
Um,
Actually, no. I'll say that as we are reviewing the looks. Never mind.
okay, so speaking of the twins, obviously I have the twins looks up first. So first is Antonio. What did you think of Antonio's look?
I absolutely adore this. This was a complete turn on for me. When he said he was doing a jacket with a skirt in white, I was like, ugh, here we go again. Like this is something we've seen. This is gonna be boring. Like, come on, like innovate. Like, this is something you'd expect for Western. But then when the model came down to runway, I was like, oh my god, this is amazing. Like the skirt is not what I was expecting. I love the fringe on it. I love the jacket. I literally loved everything about this, the styling, the hair, everything. This was a turn on for me.
Yeah, that was a turn on for me as well. I don't know for some reason. I mean, it shouldn't work because the white should have been boring. But with the grommets, with the fringe, with how it's styled, her hair, the boots, I think that is what took Antonio's like look over the edge for me
Mm-hmm.
was the whole entire picture.
Yep.
Design wise, was I'm like, oh my gosh, no. But I think because of the styling, the how and the model sold it. Like I have to, whoever she is, she sold this look
Mm-hmm.
because she was feeling herself when she came down the runway, and I think all of that helped bring Antonio's look together.
Yeah. And I just think though, oh, this to me looks like something that you could find in the store right now. And usually I would say that like in a critical way, like it's very off the rack, very generic. But I feel like this would sell really well. Like this needs to be in stores.
Yeah. And I did see the indigenous elements in this look.
Mm.
There's elements of this that does not look like typical, oh, like cowboy. So I have to give it to him. Then we have Jesus. What did you think?
The jacket is amazing. The jacket, hoodie, I don't even know what to call it. A jacket? Poncho? I don't know. Cardigan? Amazing. Amazing. I love the fabric that he used for it. I love the pattern, the fringe on it. The skirt and the top, I think were okay. I don't think there were anything like wow. I wish he would have used the burned aspect a little bit more. Like I know that was a mistake, but it actually ended up working out well. I wish he would have used more of that on the skirt. What really elevates this for me is that jacket. I love that jacket. I need that jacket. I want it on me. Uh, for me, it is the jacket surround sound. The look as a whole, turn on.
I 100% agree with you. Also, with this look, right? This also wasn't something that was different. We've seen Jesus make a jacket
Mhm.
similar to this, right? We've seen him make an kind of like a garment that's similar to, you know, all around like the elements and stuff with it. So it wasn't something that was so like fresh and unique and a different like perspective from Jesus. But what I think worked well was that his mistake actually benefited him. What was the technique that he said he was doing?
So he was trying to fuse some lining into the leather, which doesn't need it
Yes.
because it's already
Yeah.
sturdy enough. Like you typically only do that with like fabric that's really thin and doesn't hold structure well.
Hmm.
The interfacing, that's what it is. Um he didn't need that. But he did it anyway, and that's what resulted in the leather burning and giving it that effect. But I think it worked.
Yes. But if you remember in the workroom, it didn't actually burn so much. It wasn't burnt as much as he burnt it for the final look. I
Yeah,
think he burnt it more because at first it was giving boob sweat. Like
it
it
was.
wasn't. it was giving like, oh, like she sweat with the boobs, and that wasn't cute. But the fact that he made it intentional and he added more burn to it, I think helped. And just like you said, I think he should have got more crazy with the burn.
Hmm.
Like, go for it. Like, go out there with the burn, because I think that was what was really unique and really fun, and really fresh too. Because who's gonna burn leather? I think I'm
Exactly.
like, let's do that, right? Like, let's have fun with it. But yes, he was on to something with that coat. I think that coat should have been translated somehow into the look a little bit more. But these two looks were really great.
They are. I don't agree with you on that last part. I think the fact that there's a contrast between the skirt and the top and the jacket, I think that's what made it work. I don't think if he had made it more cohesive, it would have been as good. I think it would have been too much. Like it would have been too monotone, I guess.
Okay, I can also see that too.
Yeah.
Um, right. So let's move on to VJ. What did you think of VJ?
Ooh,
Oh God! Oh, tell us how you really
ooh,
feel. Oh,
ooh,
that was
ooh.
God.
That my body had a visceral response to this outfit. And it said eject, hell no, turn off the TV, smash it, throw it out, like get a new TV. Just no. Um, I don't think using the PVC or the whatever it was that she used as fringe worked at all. You couldn't really tell it was fringe at all. Like you lost the details. The styling of this was horrible. I hate those boots. They go up way too high compared to the dress. The hat is a no. Like this look just does not work at all.
Yeah. I mean, obviously this is a turn off. I'm not going to beat a dead horse, quote unquote. But But I don't know what she was thinking. Like, I don't really I don't know what this is. Like, I really don't. She said that she wanted to take a risk. She said she wanted to think outside the box, but this just doesn't make any sense. I don't see the vision. I don't see how she thought that this was like Western or even country. I don't see it. And she
I
said
mean,
this is like something like in the future, and I don't see that either.
I hope not. I hope this is not what the future entails.
Mm. And then we have Yu Chen. What did you think of Yu Chen's look?
This is this is just so basic, so boring. Like again, this is like what people were into like Beyonce's tour, Cowboy Carter. It looked really cheap. The horns made no sense, and the placement of them was so bad. Like it just made it even more awkward. Like why were they like right on top of the boob? That made no sense to me. My favorite part of the episode though was when Christian was walking around and Yucha is trying to like figure out the styling with the hat. And he's like, you need to stop worrying about that hat and worry about that dress. I thought that was so funny, but that like he really needed to change this up because at the end of the day, it's literally just a simple dress with some horns on it. It's not what I expected from Yucha.
So I'm assuming it's a turnoff.
Oh yeah, sorry. Yeah.
No, because I'm like, are we thinking of the same thing? I'm like, please don't give me like low volume. No, but yes, this is an absolute turn on for me as well. I don't know what Yuchin was thinking when he made this dress, and I don't think he knew what he was thinking when he made the dress. To me, this is very cliche of what you think Western or like country is. Uh, I wouldn't even. I don't listen. I'm not gonna throw shade at the Cowboy Carter people, but I don't even think they would even wear something like this. Like, I think they would have been like, "Child, we not doing that." I
I
don't know.
definitely know a few people who would have bought that.
Well,
But
yeah,
he should have listened to Christian when Christian told them don't buy that fabric, put it back. He literally told them that when they were in mood and he ignored them and he bought the fabric.
yeah. This is. I'm not too familiar, right, like with the genre, so I'm gonna do something that I've seen before, like that I know. Ooh, sequins. Ooh, shiny fabric. Yes, cowboy hat. Ooh, bull horns. Very cliche. It's unfortunate that it actually came from Yu Chen. Also,
Mhm.
it's unfortunate that the two bottom looks came from VJ and Yu Chen. Like that.
I
Also,
know.
I wasn't expecting that either.
Yeah, me neither, honestly, but it is what it is.
Yes. And then we have Bologna. What did you think of Bologna's look?
This was a turn on. I initially really did not like the fact that the shirt went below the skirt, I was very confused. But the more I looked at it and kind of rewatched, I was like, okay, it's interesting. She tried something different. I do like the contrast between the denim and the brown fabric. I forgot what she used. Um, I hated the boots when it came to the styling, but I really like the hat. So I think overall this is a good look, and I appreciate she did something a little different.
I actually gave this surround sound. I really enjoyed this look. I thought this was really fresh and young and hip, but also stay true to Bologna. Like
Mhm.
when I look at this look, I know it came from Bologna. Like based on the stuff that she's made so far, with the exception of that one look that was fucking bad, and she was in the bottom for like disgusting. Like this looks like Bologna, and I love when I can just like when it was Joseph McCray. Like I love when I can tell who made a look because you still have the elements of the challenge, but you also have the designer within that challenge too. And I think this is a really great balance. Now, I do agree with the cowboy boots. I don't like them so much in
Mhm.
terms of this overall look. The hat, great. But I think with given the mistake with the boots, the model did sell the look. This is still a surround sound for me because I really enjoyed it. Um, and I can see the inspiration that Melania took without it being so on the nose of like Western and country, but it still feels fresh too.
Yeah, I agree. I really do appreciate that she. I think this for me is like more futuristic Western than what VJ was trying to present.
Same. Yes, I agree. And then last but not least, we have Ethan. What did you think of Ethan's look?
This would have been a surround sound had it not been for two things. One, the hat. I hated the hat. I don't think it needed the hat. I think he just should have let the model wear her hair out, like a slick back, something like that. I think would have been great. And the boobs, freaking boobs. It just felt so weird that they were like so bunched up together in the center. That's the only thing I didn't like about this look. So it's a turn on. It would have been a surround sound had it not been for that. I did not agree with the judges that they were complaining about the black string. I actually really like the contrast. I thought this look was great. She looked beautiful. It's a very sexy look. I love the material that he used. I think besides the boobs, this was great.
I gave it a turn on. I thought the fit was what did him under. I think it's just the way that one, yes, the boobs, but also like the midriff area, it just wasn't fitting her correctly. It should have hugged her. He should have snatched the shit out of her because if he would have snatched her, this would have been a show-stopping moment.
Mm-hmm.
That was
This,
a big, and it was like this close though because if it wasn't for them boobs, he would have probably been in the top, and he might have won.
yeah, I think so. I think this could have been a winning look had he just altered the measurements a little bit.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And I think Law said that too. Law was like,
Mhm.
you were like almost there, like you was almost in the top. So obviously when we talk about the top looks, right? We have Antonio in the top, we have Jesus in the top, and then we have Melania in the top. And then ultimately Jesus is the winner of the challenge, even though they keep edging Antonio on,
He
but
was pissed.
they never give him the win.
He was pissed. You saw his face. He was mad. He was ready to punch Jesus in the face.
He was. Even though this time I did not agree with Jesus winning, I do agree that they should have went to Antonio. In my opinion, I would have preferred Antonio to win just because I think his just gave me a little bit more freshness.
Mhm.
It would have been really good for Antonio to also for a storyline for him to win, but I get it on the other side for him not to win because we get the face crack of the century from Antonio. So yes, but I think yes, Jesus is lucky that Ethan wasn't in the top because if Ethan was in the top, Ethan would have won.
Yes, I think so. How do you fix this dress? Yes.
Yeah. Which leaves the bottom looks. So we have VJ, we have Ethan, and we have Yuchen. Now, obviously, we know based on this that Ethan is not going home, even though they don't tell us, right? But we know that Ethan is not going home because they kind of said that before they like sent them off into liberation. That this is between VJ and Yuchen. Now, both VJ and Yuchen have wins.
Hmm.
So, who do you think is going home?
I don't want him to go home. I don't want VJ to go home either. But no, I don't know. I really think it could be either or because I can see Yuchen in the finale, but this looks just horrible. I don't know. I really don't know. Who do you think is going home?
I think it's going to be Yuchen. I honestly think so. I think it's going to be Yuchen. I think Yuchen. I don't think. Yes, I think the judges are going to send Yuchen home because I don't think they're going to send VJ home because at least VJ tried to think outside the box. And this is the second time in a row that Yuchen gave us something that was just like blah. He did it with the streetwear challenge. They saved him because at least he had an idea, right? Like at least it was like, okay, it was well executed. They hated Jones' print. But then you have this that he just went totally off the rails, gave us something that was so cliche, uninspired.
Ooh.
I think it's his time.
Yeah. Oh, poor Yuchen. I really like Yuchen.
Yeah. But I mean, I think it's his time. I don't think he has been showing us, especially in these last 2 weeks, like anything good. But no shade. But with the exception of the first week, I have not been so impressed with Yuchen's work.
So you're saying he's getting on by?
I am saying that. Yes, I am. Yeah.
I mean, I can see why you think that. I think he has presented a couple good ones, but overall, I do prefer VJ's designs.
Yeah. Way more. I think VJ is way more fashion forward and to me and fresh. And she thinks outside the box. And I love when a designer is really creative because her shuttlecock look,
That was amazing.
amazing.
That was amazing.
And the companion look was good too. Like, you know how I feel about the companion look. You hated the little shoulders, but I love the companion look. I thought the companion look was great.
I did hate those shoulders.
But then again, right, you have, yes, Yuchen won the unconventional challenge, but what he did, he didn't transform those materials.
Yeah.
They still were soccer balls. And so, like I said, with the exception of the first challenge, when he was in the top for that villain look, which I was like, ooh, if this is what he's going to bring the rest of the season, then this is great. It was lace. Remember, he got mad because Jesus
Oh yes,
wanted everybody
yes.
else to win, and he's like, why
Why
you
I
gotta
gotta
use my
give up my
lace?
lace?
Right. And
Yes.
so with that look, I said, oh my gosh, like if he's going to do that and that's what he's going to give me throughout the season, then this is going to be really great. But he kind of went downhill for me after that.
Yeah, I can, okay. I can say
The
that.
challenge that he was, and this is not me making a case for VJ, but the challenge that he was supposed to be his,
such a disappointment.
He died. Like,
He dropped like fish out of water.
Right. He like died. And I'm like, I get it, but I don't think this is his time.
Is that a Land Before Time shirt?
It is a Land Before Time.
Oh my god, I love that movie.
Yes.
Sorry, I just had to.
I know it's fine. It's very fitting for the previously on podcast. So yes,
and I
Land
mean,
Before Time.
Not you aging yourself with that shirt.
Why I appreciate Project Runway doing what they did is like they wasn't gonna whitewash Jesus and Antonio's story, and I thought that was great. Right? Like, let's bring that into this challenge because we see what's happening otherwise. So, in fashion, listen, fashion came from us. Like, no shade, but we did it. So, it's only right. Well, there you have it. That was Project Runway Season 21, Episode 7, the Country Western Challenge. I forgot what the name of the title of the episode was, but you get the point. It's country, it's western, it's cowboys, it's lassos, it's belt buckles, it's giving maybe Yuchen or VJ, it's going home. But as always, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Hit that notification bell so you never miss a single episode of the Previously On podcast. Until next time, y'all.